Recording. Welcome back, season 2 of the Brian Moreno Show, ladies and gentlemen. God, we've had some good interviews this season. Check out Bart's Barbecue, Jay Chase from the Improv, and I got a big hitter right now. I can't wait to talk to this man. Ladies and gentlemen, let's roll it. Now see, this is the money. Pull it up so you can see. If you haven't seen Liam, my intro, that's the money in the bank right there. That's the money. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the Brian Moreno Show. I know how many options you got out there, so thank you for parking it here. A lot of stuff happening in the world this week. I'm going to get to some rants and raves in a little bit. But today I got an interview that I'm real stoked about. Like I've known this guy probably a lot longer than you've known me. Oh, right? In studio, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce, without any further ado, singer, songwriter, artist, musician, Liam Horne. Let me hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! You know how to do it.
Different channel.
So, Liam, like, for those who don't know, God, you've been in LA how long?
I've been in LA now almost 13 years.
13 years, and you're 25?
I'm 25 right now.
Yeah, so you've been grinding.
It's nonstop, since I came here. 13 years ago is when I came permanently to like really stay, but I've been coming to LA since I was 12 years old. There's videos of me in the studio singing on mics at 12.
Because like when I see you, I see how fucking old I am. Let me make that clear, all right? Because you still a young buck with a lot of experience.
That's just I'm very lucky to be surrounded by the right people here in LA. With experience to share with me. That's all I can say about that. I'm not very experienced myself. I know that I ain't that smart, so what I did was surround myself with a bunch of people who are very smart and smarter than I am,
Okay, so let's start from the beginning, because for those who don't know you, because I'm sure, because a lot of the people who are my fans, they never heard of Liam Horne.
No.
So let's start from the beginning. You're from where?
Aberdeen, Scotland, born and raised. I'm a Scotsman. My parents are both from Aberdeen, Scotland. We real Scottish, so I came out here off the boat, straight up.
And how would you describe Aberdeen? Is it grimy? Like what is, or is it rough and tumble, or what?
There's some areas that are grimy, just like everywhere, but like mostly, the grass is green, the trees are huge, it's beautiful. There's some amazing scenery out in Scotland, especially in the countryside, and I was lucky enough to grow up around that, so I wasn't really in the city with the grimy shit. My family are all gypsies. So we live off the street and travel around, and like,
wow.
So like I was very lucky to be exposed to the beautiful side of Scotland instead of the grimy, shitty ass streets.
So that's interesting. So then you probably, if with your parents, as you call them, gypsies, you probably learned real early that you had a talent, right? Like you were singing like Scottish fucking ditties.
No,
right?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
There's one that's my favorite. It's called Donald, Where's Your Trousers? Okay? And that basically translates to Donald, where are your trousers? Your pants. Because Scottish people, we don't wear pants, we wear kilts, the fucking kilts with our skirts on and our spuddings. So the song goes, I've just come down from the Isle of Skye. I'm no very big and I'm awfully shy. So there's Scottish folk songs I knew, but my family are really soulful. My mom's a singer.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful singer. She puts me to shame. And she's really soulful, so she exposed me to a lot of R&B growing up. And my favorite singers personally are Donny Hathaway, Luther Vandross, Simply Red, the Eagles. I love real musicians. So I just grew up around all music, and my mom and dad had me singing from a very young age. Like, I remember at family parties and stuff, like, they stand me on the table and make me perform, and I'm, like, so happy to do it, and, like, it just took off.
So that's where I want to get to. Where's the first memory you have when you knew you had something? Like, you may not have known what you had, but that you had something.
Well, I was always singing as a kid. I can't remember a time where I wasn't singing, but it's when I got the opportunity to come to America for The first time is when I really knew, okay, I could do something with this. It's not just singing with my family.
So not even. So did you come with your? You came with your family to America?
No. So my mom's uncle, my great uncle, is a record producer out here in America. With a team called The Matrix. They wrote hits for Avril Lavigne, Hilary Duff, Shakira. They wrote Korn album. They did really amazing things in the music industry. And he came home to visit one time and saw me singing as a kid with the whole family. And he was like, "Yo, what's going on? Like, come out to LA. Let's get you on some records and just see what happens." And by this time, I was like 12 years old. So,
Really?
Yeah.
And at that age, did you think that was just like a crazy idea, or were you like, yeah, of course, why not?
You know, it's so funny because so he came back to visit and he brought my uncle and my aunt, now who are roughly the same age as me. My uncle's 27 and my aunt's 30. You know, so we all grew up young together, and he took them out here for a holiday to begin with. So they came back, and I was like, "Oh, what? I want to go. And he was like, "All right, I'll take you for Christmas." And being young, I was like, "Oh, okay. Let me ask my mom." And like, I was like, "I don't want to leave for Christmas." I was kind of nervous, and I had like a moment. I remember this like crazy. I had a moment where I was like, "Maybe I won't go. Maybe I'll just stay." And I decided in the end just to go for Christmas, you know. And it was my uncle, so I had family here, and I came, and that's when I got my first time in a recording studio.
Okay, now let me ask you: your uncle working out here, as a child, was he balling? Did you come out and you were like, "Oh,
Yeah, well,
shit," right? Because that's a whole different experience, you know. Because it's like when you're coming from a whole different world, and sometimes I just wonder how when people they get exposed to a new world, like what are the first moments that really stick with them? Because those really form what direction that we go.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, my uncle and my aunt, who he was married to at the time, you know, they were amazing. And I have to say, they had the money, you know. They were driving the Bentleys, living in the mansions.
Oh, doing it big.
Yeah, so I was living there with them and living in swimming pools. But I never got, like, they weren't like, "Oh, here's $1,000. Go spend it. Go splash," you know.
Which
They
is
were like,
probably for the
amazing.
best.
I love the fact that they did that now. You know, they'd be like, "Here's $20, you know.
Yeah.
Go have fun with your friends." And
Yeah.
they really treated me like a normal kid. So I didn't have more than my friends I was hanging out with.
Yeah.
But if I needed something, it was always there, you know. And plus, they had me singing in recording studios from 13 on, seriously. So I didn't really have time to be out running around with friends and doing that thing. Like every day, I was waking up and going into a recording.
Do you feel like you miss that?
I mean, I live it to the fullest now. So, you know, and I'm still young, you know. And all my friends now are just ballers and amazing bosses, you know. So I get to live the best of it now.
See, that's great though.
Best.
Now, along the way, it's not all roses and peaches and cream. Like, like I know that. Like, I mean, this business has been grinding me for a long time, and a lot of it is about persistence. A lot of it is about facing adversity, because you see how many people in the time you've been here just fall off and just disappear.
Well, that's the thing. I came out here with a whole production team behind me. You know, I was taking meetings with Disney and Nickelodeon, and I was being offered like roles in TV shows, and
So you had the chance to be a Disney kid.
Yeah. And you know, if who knows, if I did, maybe I'd be like some like crazy ass mental like drug addict now, you know, like who knows? You never know. So like
No, you don't.
maybe things happen for a reason. But like the team who I came out with, they're broken up now. They don't even make music together now, you know. And I never ever would have saw that coming. Like this cup picking up and flying across the room was more realistic to me than that happening, you know, and it did. So when that happened, you know, I kind of had a moment. I was like 16, and I just written for Justin Bieber. So like I was doing things here, you know, and my company, my team, my support was like, "Oh, we ain't doing this anymore. We're not working anymore. You got to go home." And this was my uncle. So I was like, "Oh, wait, what?"
Just out of the blue?
Out of the blue, because they divorced, some things happened, you know, and then they stopped working together. The whole production company, they were done. So I found myself back in Aberdeen, Scotland, you know. But by this time, I had met my ex, who was really supportive in my music and my life. And my manager, I had a new manager this time because, you know, the last couple of months with the Matrix and my uncle, we weren't really doing anything. So I went out on my own and I found a new manager and I found like a new team, you know, because I wasn't about to let my dream die. You know, it's not happening. So my ex and my manager flew me out here again. They helped me get a place, you know, really secured me here in LA. And me and my manager and I just secured my record deal and my work permit and everything, you know. So,
Yo, congratulations. Give him a little claps on that, Roberto. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's hard work. That's what I'm talking about, persistence, though, man.
Yeah, bro, like, I miss my family. You know, I've got 2 little brothers, a little sister. I've got a nephew who's
Are you
5.
the oldest?
I'm the oldest, you know, and I haven't even met my 5-year-old nephew yet. You know, he looks at me through a phone screen. I'm probably part technology to him. You know, he's like, he lives in the phone. Like, he's tiny. So it's like.
So you're tight with your family?
Yeah, super tight. And I haven't seen my mom in like 4 years. And I haven't seen my sister in like 8 years. And my brothers in like 5.
So your family's always been supportive of this dream.
Super supportive.
See, that's
super supportive.
amazing.
Yeah, like, my mom and my dad are my angels. That's my everything. I do it all for them to be proud and for them to know they've done something right, you know.
That's sometimes that's worth more than any other outside success.
No, that's exactly it. You know, when it comes to success, bro, I'm really just about singing. Like, if I had it my way, I'd probably be in a tent with an apple and a guitar right now. Like, fucked up. The fact that I have a manager who's like amazing and goes, yo, let me just take what you're doing and let me do something with it for you and make some business out of this, you know?
Yeah.
That's really what kept me going, because I got to a point where I was missing my family. I broke up with my ex, and I just wanted to stay in the house and play music all day and not even record it. I just wanted to sing on my couch with my guitar. And my team, my brothers and my manager, Rich Skillz, shout out to that man. That's my third angel on here, you know? But he really was at my door, you know, like, yo, no, we're working, like, we need to get back in the studio, let's go. And they really never let me fall off.
See, you had people pushing you too.
Yeah, no, believe me, I did. Like, personally, I fell off, but I had people to catch me and throw me back up real quick, you know?
See, that, you know, in this game, as you've seen, it's dirty and it's grimy.
No, it really is. But honestly.
But you had a good support system, and that sometimes is equal to talent, to drive.
Yeah.
You know, because like everyone knows, like, you're gonna get successes, but you don't realize you're gonna balance it with failures.
No,
if not more.
That's
you know,
one of the most amazing things I've heard.
and having people there to meet you at the bottom and help you get up, like that's rare.
You know, I heard Kevin Hart one time say something amazing, and it's so crazy because no one expects the comedian to come out with something amazing and like,
hey man,
ahead, you know.
Like,
and it's
I
like
hope
sometimes these comedians, they're the most deepest people of us all, you know, because they make us laugh and they have to be that. And then, you know, no one knows what goes home when they go home and they're by themselves. You know, what's in that head is crazy. And Kevin Hart said one time, he goes, you know, no one made it to the top by themselves. No matter what you say, no one actually got there by themselves. Everyone had a team. And if you did get to the top by yourself, you're probably a selfish ass motherfucker. And I was like, dang, that's so amazing, you know? To really get there and not have help, you have to be cutthroat and you have to be harsh and you have to be just non-human. And that's just something I'm not willing to be.
Well,
you know?
But also, man, and I'm going to give you just a little piece of advice. Sometimes people change. Sometimes people you trust and you love and that you open your doors to, they change and they lose their mind. Sometimes a little bit of fame, a little bit of money, a little bit of piece of ass. Somebody just changed. They snap, and that's that's something that hopefully you don't have to run into. But it's something along my path that it's I've had to overcome.
It's true. And I'm probably not prepared for it when it does happen. I mean, who really is, you know, when your loved ones change on you or someone you trust changes, you know, you don't, oh shit.
No, it's cool. We're not doing a show, bro.
But like I was saying, when your loved ones and people you trust change on you, you know, that's the shocker of it most. When a stranger changes up, you expect that, you know. I know people are going to change because I've changed, you know.
Well, but that's the other thing. We all are. Like,
That's
we're all
it.
evolving and change.
Every
Like,
day.
speaking of change, how has Corona changed your business?
You know, I feel for Corona, people who've been affected by Corona, you know, because as a singer, I'm very blessed. You know, I get to still make my music. I have a studio set up at my house. I get to still write my songs. You know, it's the people who work the 9-to-5s, who go out every day, who really are affected by it.
Wow,
know,
so you didn't really get shit, like, because you were in the recording stage, so you got to record a lot.
Yeah, so
Now, just think if you had an album freshly dropped when Corona hit or something.
You know, that's so sad. And like the Grammys went on, you know. Like,
Well, I mean, and you say it was the Grammys, but it was a figment of the Grammys, right?
Exactly. So a lot of people were affected by it, but I'm just, I guess, not as far in my career to be affected by it, I guess. Or maybe that's a good, I don't know.
Well, see, in some ways, I get what you're saying, because in my comedy career, as far along as I was, the comedy, like, I got real, Corona totally screwed everything up, because all the real famous guys now are doing the comedy clubs and taking all my spots, and there's half the spots and half, but also it forced me to do this, and it forced me to finish my movie, and and that's the kind of stuff, it's like, sometimes when you're not that far along, you can adapt and you can adjust a lot easier.
Well, that's the thing for me, you know. I'm a real people watcher. Like, I love people, you know. We're all on this earth together. So when I hear stories like that, that just, like, that brightens it, you know. How can you not have hope when you have people like you who use it to their advantage and come through and
Well,
make
you
the best
got
out of the
you
situation?
got to adapt and adjust. And it's like there's so many people that you know, like, they start to regret the past and they let the past hold them down, and that defines who they are. And I just never want that to be me, because a part of me feels like, you know, God rest his soul, but that's kind of how my dad was, you know. And it's like this is stuff that we only learn sometimes when it's too late, and that's why I hope to pass it along to people too.
What the main thing was for me was being away from my family during COVID. You know, in Scotland, you know, there's a population of maybe 5 million people. And we live in a country where there's 305 million people, you know. So 5 million people here get COVID. Chances of us hearing about it is slim. 5 million people in Scotland get it. That's the whole country got it, you know.
Now, I didn't hear much about how did it affect Scotland a lot? Like, was it as bad as it was here?
It was, and, you know, hospitals were full. You know, old to young people were getting sick, which is, you don't want anyone to get sick. It's heartbreaking to seeing people in hospitals, and, you know, just because of the sheer number of people limited to the beds, you know, a 5 million population with everyone getting into the hospital, they're like, oh, what do we do? You know, there was a lot of bad shit there, you know, with the help and nurses being worked over, which is heartbreaking. You know, these doctors and nurses and people really saved lives during these times.
Now, like, hearing you talk emotionally like this, it reminds me of your music, because you're kind of an emotional singer. You know, like, a lot of the stuff, even the titles of your song, Tragedy, you know, like, there's a lot of emotion that's represented in your music. Now, do you think over Corona, when you're recording, did it make your music sadder? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of sadness. I'm just curious.
You know what? Subconsciously, I'm sure it did. I've got some, like, depressing songs I say, you know, but no, really, you know, I just I tried to keep my spirits up, you know. And
well, you seem like a happy guy. Like, you
I'm
generally,
very
like, you can
happy.
see the bright side, I feel like.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, like, it's
I don't know if it was always that way, but this guy in front of me seems like he can.
No, I really didn't come into my own until 22, 23. I'm only 25 now,
Well,
so I'm still starting to become this.
Well, sure.
Like, it's just new. Like,
Yeah, man.
5 years ago, I was a different person.
You're
That's
going
what
to
I'm
say
saying.
that every 5 years.
Yeah, but then also, you know, like, do we change, or do we just become more who we really are, you know?
Well, that's a good question, because it's not the same for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Some people get further away from the fire. Some people get, because it's like, I try to explain to people. This was when I was a young scholar before comedy. Like I tried to write a paper describing that people take on the characteristics of their city, like whatever the major industry is. Like if you go to New York, you can see a big difference between like the financials and the artistic.
Sure.
Miami, same thing. And then in LA, it's smoke and mirrors because it's film and television. So a lot of people, they develop these fake personalities.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're trying to emulate. That's what they're trying to be a part of. And then they get a little further away from who they are. And it's not that it's good or bad, but that's why people call LA fake.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's well, no, I mean, this is like, I like to think before I talk. And that's why to stay true to who you are, I think your family, man, I hope they watch this because they should be so proud of you, even through all the bullshit you probably put them through.
Man, it's moments like these that I'm thankful that I'm a learner, because I'm learning lessons even right now from you, like it's all about who you surround yourself with.
You've had every chance to be a worse version of yourself.
And I've been that worst version. That's the thing,
Amen.
I've been that worst version and I didn't like him, so I decided to not be him anymore.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to see that, and sometimes it takes.
And here's the thing too, I feel like I'm a strong person, I'm strong soulfully in my mind. I know what I can be and I know what I can do. But I got hooked, I was on the drugs, I was on Xanax, that's what killed all these young kids. And I was doing it to the point where one of my best friends picked me up and chased me around the car to get me drug tested. And that's the.
And you were running from him like a cartoon.
I was running around the car.
Like a cartoon,
big guy too, so he's running.
Like Wile E. Coyote, right?
So what happens was I was sitting one day, and I was on Xanax every day. And I've been sober now for like 6 years. I don't do nothing. I don't drink alcohol. I just literally smoke.
Man, good for you. Good 6 years.
Yeah, bro. And I don't fiend for it. I don't care for it. I can be in a party and see lines railed up in front of me. Do it. I'm cool. I never got that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really believe that I didn't walk out of that pit. I was pulled out of that pit. To the fact where I had I'd gone so far and was hiding it so well that I overdosed. And, I ended up passed out in the back of an ambulance with my manager to this day, who's my manager. And this is before the record deal, before anything. He's standing there. He's going, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, are you need saved right now? And he's standing at the ambulance doors, and I passed out and I woke up. I got my stomach pumped. I got everything pulled out of me, and these people never gave up on me. These people didn't look at me and go, this is a junkie, like, throw him away. Like, he's detrimental to us, not once. And it's because of that support. Whilst I was lying down, You'll
give these people a shout out. Who are these?
This is Edwin Guido, my big brother, and also A&R to our label. He
What's up?
Album. He's here right now. It's my big bro. This is Rich Skillz, my manager, also my big brother. My ex, Chanel West Coast. We cool now. She's a little epic. She's very passionate, but. She really rises for my career, and she was there through that whole thing for me.
That's cool.
And also, my parents too, I was calling my poor mom, like, I must have broke her heart, bro. I was calling my mom, telling her something, and then 10 minutes later, calling her back and telling her the same thing over again. Like
your mind was
my mind was gone. And,
When you think back at that time, does it even seem like you?
No, that's a different, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because sometimes you got to go through that, the dark to see the light.
I was there and I really said, I've got all these people who love me, like, and also I'm a Scotsman, like a real Scotsman, like Braveheart, William Wallace. Like, how am I going to let a pill this size
take you down?
Life?
Yeah.
What? Bye. So I walked out of the hospital in cold turkey. I quit everything. I didn't want to do it again. And
well, see that, man. I hope your story helps one person out there. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it takes that you hitting rock bottom.
No,
to find your strength, and you did.
Yeah, no, I really didn't. Now, my music, bro, I feel that I'm worthy of talking about the passion and the downfalls and stuff, because I went through it now. You know, I'm not just a kid who's 13 singing tragedy who's never been through one. You know,
How old you were?
I was 14 when I did tragedy. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was a young buck, but now you know, I know what I'm writing about, if that makes sense.
So before you were singing.
Yeah, like I could always write. I'm a storyteller, you know. I could always write little pop songs.
But now it's coming from a different place.
I'm really telling what I feel, you know. And my album that I've just made, I put my heart and soul into, and there's literally 2 producers on my album, and that's Rich Skillz, my manager, and my other producer I work with, Calypso. He's a fire producer, amazing guy, my brother, and that's my 2 producers on my whole album. That's it. And the majority was done by me and Rich. So it's really a home album. It means a lot to us, you know. And it's very personal, you know. So,
Wait, you have any idea when it's going to drop?
Well, I just got on 420, May 20th, I just got my new employment card. I'm finally able to release music here and work here.
Oh.
Yeah, see.
So as an artist without your employment card, you can't be making no money on your music. Damn.
See, I might be
During COVID, by the way, might I add, this all happened during COVID. He was so
He just couldn't make no
moves. Couldn't do nothing.
So that's why
Stuck.
okay, because
immigration slowed down.
No, because I checked all your so that's why your YouTube has all covers in, huh?
Yeah,
Because you could.
I was signed, but I couldn't release.
I figured there was something
original
behind
music.
that.
Yeah. So Capitol, and it was so, you know, I really love my label for this. Although we haven't dropped, they've really been there for me. You know, Rich Skillz, and my other manager too, who we'll bring up, but Rob Cavallo, you know, he's been a big help in my life too. I'm co-managed by Rich Skillz and Rob Cavallo.
You're a lot to manage, bro.
Yeah, you know,
a lot to handle.
I'm a
This
little
fucking
hooligan.
dude.
But no, I got it together. But no, they you know, they at the label, they really, you know, they signed me knowing that I wasn't legal and able to drop music, in the hopes and the belief that I would in the future.
Well, see, that's awesome.
You know, I couldn't have wished for anything like that, you know. So in the future, they, you know, I actually was signed to Capitol like 2 years ago. Yeah, we had our deal 2 years ago, and I wasn't legal. So the deal got overrun, like my time with the deal was done, and they were like, you know what? We believe in you. We're just going to redo your whole deal.
Wow.
Redone. There's another 3 years.
You got game.
So they redid my deal. My album's made, and I just got my my work card on May 4th. So
Wow, congratulations to all that.
yeah. So hopefully the end of this year we'll start pushing for radio plays with a single.
Sure.
And then push for an album or opening up. Push for a big tour or opening up for a big tour next year.
That's, you come back on when it is. I make sure to whoever doesn't know, whoever I can get it in front of, I will. Now I want to ask seriously, like I think your heart is totally, like, you got to commend you, man. Like, you've grinded, and like, as much as you could have been a different person, like, you chose this path, and like, you're on the path that you chose and that you've worked
Thank you so
through
much.
a lot of adversity to get to, and that, man, like, that's hard to do, because adversity crumples like pressure. It makes diamonds, yeah, but it also cracks a lot of pipes.
Wow.
Bro, like
I need to be writing some of these down. Wow.
Oh man, you just watch my comedy. I got plenty of bullshit to talk.
Wow.
Now hold up. You're releasing some stuff over pandemic. Anything like you want to pull up? Anything you like?
Yeah, honestly, if I could.
There's your YouTube right
Oh
here.
wow, yeah.
Man, let me get my headset on. If there's anything you want to.
Let's do this.
Yeah, no, and then here, you want to pull him up.
So I have an amazing friend named Alex Bundy. Shout out to my brother Alex Bundy McBuckets. He films all my videos for me, and another friend Jordan St. Pierre, fire. But
Which one you want to play?
As of recently, it's all been Alex Bundy. That's my video guy, and he does all this for me for free. He literally, I call him and he's there for me with a camera.
Alex, if you want to do some more free work,
no, for real, he's amazing.
Please,
let's play. If we could, I just let's see. I have what's there? If we could go.
Would you tell me, man?
What's fun? What did I do? Is there the Luther Vandross cover there? Never Too Much. There we go. That was fun. There we go. This was during the pandemic. I did this, so I got my pandemic mask on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, this is one of my favorite singers in the world.
Yo, in your music, you can hear your roots.
That's amazing.
Like you can hear some of your influences for sure.
Here we go. I can't dance, but I can make it look like I can dance. I'm the best fake dancer ever.
Can people tell you're Scottish when they hear your music?
It's so funny. When I sing, my accent disappears.
I think it does, but he could tell when we were listening. He's like, "Is he?" He could. I was like, "How you hear that?"
No. Well, I maybe on some words, but for the majority, you know what? I came to the conclusion on this. I have a theory on this. My theory on why my voice changes when I sing is, you know, I grew up listening to all American singers. All my favorite singers came from the USA. You know, they all had an American accent, you know. So when I was growing up imitating these singers and singing these Usher songs and singing Luther and singing Stevie, you know, I wasn't singing it like I was a Scotsman. I was trying to sing it like them, you know. And I have a theory that we all listen to the majority of music comes from America, you know. So we all hear it, and when we sing, it's American singers. So I guess just subconsciously, I sing it with an American accent.
Oh, so you maybe been practicing American accent longer than you even know you have. You know? Yeah. And just because of singing Luther Vandross as a kid and whatnot. And
growing up singing American movies and singing American music, and all the movies I watched were American, you know, like. So, like, I try and get into my groove. When I really sing, it's a little performance in my head, so maybe I'm acting.
Now, well, I think in all art there is a level of performance involved. You know, it's
of course.
Because you've heard beautiful singers and beautiful artists with no pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't appreciate the art sometimes because they didn't deliver it right.
No, it's true, you know. But you know, also, when it comes to music, for me, I try and just make all my music live. You know, I play my instruments. You know, I play piano, I play guitar. So we really play the instruments in our songs and make it real music. And that's what you have to remember about these classic singers. You know, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., when they would sing their songs, they were in front of their orchestra. It wasn't, let me just do the first verse and then bounce back. So just do a take, you know.
So what are your thoughts on DJs?
DJs, oh my gosh, you know, I have such a respect for DJs, though. I dated the DJ, and that gave me so much respect for DJs. You know, to be able to go into a party full of people, a room full of people.
Well, there's a talent to it for sure.
Talent, a real talent. That's a people talent. You have amazing, and to know what songs to lift. I couldn't DJ, and I'm amazing with music. I wouldn't put a playlist to keep them together.
Well, I used to DJ at strip clubs, so it's a different kind of DJing. Just 3 minutes, bro. 3 minutes.
These guys want to be in the mood to be there, you know? Like, you can't be in there listening to some fucking...
Yeah, but also, if you play a song more than 3 minutes, a girl's going to run out of there and hit you with a high heel. Because you don't want to be dancing no more.
Oh, shit, so I've had
cut it off in 3 minutes, bro.
Oh, shit, wait.
That's why you ain't getting no extra time. 3 songs, bro.
Pick a song.
Yeah, if you leave the booth and try to go Mac or
Dang.
something, and you out there 4 or 5 minutes. They're like,
Hey,
"What
that's a hustle,
doing?"
you know. You that's just a hustle, you know. I won't ever knock no one's hustle.
No, I'm just not
That's
at
good.
all.
That's-
I just love
Scandalous.
real artists.
Yeah.
And like people who really make music. And I think sometimes that's lost in the electronical world.
It really is, and also it gets filtered down to just singers. I think too. Just singers ain't the only artists out here. You know?
Exactly.
The producer, he's an artist. The writer, that's an artist. The person who comes in with their guitar and lays that guitar, that's an artist. You know, the craft is your art. You know, and whatever you make as your art, whatever it is your art, which makes you an artist. You know.
Absolutely. The thing that I think you're losing here is that you're way ahead of the curve because you know what your art is. Some people come to these LA, New York, Miami, wherever, and they don't even know what their art is.
Yeah, but then
You know, like they can sing a little bit, they can dance a little bit.
All these people, you know, who Van Gogh, who fuck up a fucking canvas with just splatters, don't know what the fuck it is, and they go, "This is."
Well,
my
no,
art.
you got to keep grinding until you find
know?
it.
Exactly.
Oh man, you know how many times
Exactly.
I failed on stage till I found just a little bit of funny, and then you find a little bit more. No, I mean
That's
it like
that
I would
must be
bomb. Like I
amazing.
remember people looking at me like, "What the fuck is he doing?" And then, but you got to believe and you got to dig deep. Like you know those, there has to be a time when you were performing and you just didn't do well. Like you were off, and I know.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna have to chime in on that and say that's never happened.
No, but you got to carry that. You got to carry the L's with you
Liam's
to get
different.
better.
Liam's different.
You have no L's
Here's
under
the
your
thing.
belt.
Yeah, I do, but not with performing. My L's, when I go on stage, I don't have to communicate. You know, I don't have to. You know, I'm protected.
Are you
by that.
always a solo artist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I play with a band, a live band. You know, I play my instruments.
So all the pressure's on you, and you feel like, wow, you just never had no bad shows.
Never.
No, I haven't. Here's the thing. I don't think I've done enough shows to have a bad show yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure down the line, once I get more shows, and I'm doing like 3-4 shows a week or 3 for every 2 weeks, you know, one of them.
When live music really comes back,
exactly,
yeah.
You know, and once I'm doing more shows, and honestly, I do like one show every few months, you know, so I have time to prepare. And I'm so excited for it, so I put my all into it, and I just put my soul into it, and it doesn't come down to work for me at that part. That's my break. That moment when I go onto stage and I go there, that's my break. That's like my smoke break, my 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, when I come back, where I mess up is I'm the worst at posting on social media. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't really have friends. I have my family around me. You know, I can talk, but like if I'm not interested in the conversation, I'm not the best talker. I fell asleep in my Disney meeting on the table. Like that's not cool, you know. Like I'm not the best businessman.
I mean, it
You know,
is if you're tired.
I make bad. You know, I have made bad business moves, decision moves. You know, I get $300. I'll probably do bad with that. You know, I've got flaws in different areas, so
Okay, so then there's a bunch of things to unpack here. When you say you do have, first off, you said you do have L's, but not in performance. What do you?
Not yet in
What are you
performance.
talking about? What other L's? What other?
You know, I have personality L's, like what we went through. You know, that was an L going through my drug phase. That was a big L to me. You know, there's people out here who've never done that a day in their life and stand strong, and they're still amazing people.
Yeah.
You know, but you know that L came with a win. I got out of it. You know.
Sure.
There's, you know, relationships that I know that I've personally messed up in the past. You know, that's an L to me because maybe I was too immature during the time or during the moment. You know, I didn't understand how to handle it, and I handled it wrong. That's different things.
Well, there's things to touch on the relationship.
Well, hold on, that's not touched too much on my
No.
L's because
I
I'm
just
gonna
want to
get
say, like,
performance L's.
sometimes you can gain more from the relationship, like after the fact. When you look back, the mistakes that were made, and you become better from it. Because I know how many girls they should have broke up with me. Goddamn, for good reason.
I feel like I don't know. You know, this might be the young side of me here.
Yeah, let's
when
hear.
it comes to relationships, you know. And it might come with growth.
You a
know,
lover?
I'll get over this, but I really am a lover. I'm a lover boy to the heart, and I'm also a Cancer. I'm born July 4th, So I'm a real Cancer, like emotional as fuck. Here's the thing. My last real relationship is that girl still to me who, if she was to call me now and be like, let's try again, I'm like, all right, every girl who's here, skeet, let's go. We straight back at it.
And there's nothing wrong with that though. There's nothing wrong. You may never get that call.
Yeah,
but there ain't nothing like that's how you feel.
Well, that's the moment I've come to now. I think the moment I've come to is now. I'm not expecting the call, but hey, if it ever comes, I'm hoping.
And you ain't afraid to put it out there. That's
no, but I'm hoping. Who knows? I might go down the line and I might meet someone. She's like, don't take that call.
Well, sure. Well, you might meet someone that makes you think. That little voice in your head says that to you.
You never know.
Well, no. So that's time, and that's only when you're ready, and you don't sound like you're ready to find that person. So
and
it's like,
thank God I'm still young.
Yeah, man.
So
no.
Let time happen.
No. So
And
this
let
is
growth happen.
As much as I'm an old timer and I got a bad back,
See,
like
you know
I've lived
what's
life,
funny?
bruh.
It's so funny to me. I would say when I get to the age I think you're around, I would want to be in my prime. I think that's really. I don't think you really become old and start to slow down till your late 60s, early 70s.
Well, when I say slow down, no, I just don't.
My mom's 43, my dad's 44. So, and they're still young, amazing. I party with my parents. I don't look at them as old, I'm so grateful to have young parents that I know is going to be around. Like you in your prime, like.
Well, no, I am, but the thing is, like, I used to be a lover. And I loved so much, my back blew out on me. And when it starts going out, bro, like you're like, I don't want to be a lover no more.
I'm cool.
I want to walk tomorrow.
No, yeah, you're right. But no, I will say, another part of my flaws with loving is I did take my relationship over my career for the longest time. And that set me back.
Well, that's a balance that you're definitely going to have to find as a lover, because when you give, just remember, when you give your energy, there's only so much energy you can't give. And when you give it one way, you're taking it away from other things. So that's about finding the balance.
Yeah.
And that ain't easy.
Well,
boy, that ain't easy.
For me, too, is my parents, I was raised by my parents really old school. My mom and dad have been together all their life. They're still together, So that's how I looked at relationships they should be. And then when I go
40. How long they been together?
Well, I'm
20 years.
I'm 25. I'm 25.
So I mean, they got another 20 to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
but here's the thing. I was like, and they're still madly in love. They just got married.
That's great. That's beautiful.
They just got married like
give
10,
them a
like
little.
10 years
Give
ago.
them a little clapskis. That's Give them
But
that. What's their Scottish names? Let me hear some Scottish names. What are their names?
My dad's name's William, but he gets called Billy.
Billy.
And my mom's name's Jamie.
Jamie.
Jaime, spelled the French way. Jamie. But no, my grandfather's name's William. My dad's name's William. My grandfather gets called.
Oh, so Braveheart was not joking.
No, my grandfather gets called Bill. My dad now gets called Billy. And I'm Liam. Liam is the last 4 letters of William. Yeah. So just so you know.
Wow, the apple don't fall far from the tree in the name game, right?
No. But so basically when I went into my relationship and I was 17 and she was 25. I was turning 18. So I was a baby. I didn't know how to handle relationships, and she was also famous. So it got to the point where she was, posting some sexy pics and going into studios with famous rappers and hanging out with people all the time, always.
Jealousy fuck with your head?
So I, being an immature little brat.
Well, no, I mean.
Well, I was because I was to the point where, you're not posting that. You're not posting that. You're not doing that. Nah, why would you want to do that? You're not flirting with him to get
But you understand, you had to see that side of yourself to know that that's not the way to be.
I'll post your ass for you. Let's fuck that shit. You know what I mean?
Also,
gosh.
the world has become.
And I didn't understand. This was an act to get further. And at the end of the day, I got the real person coming home with me. You know what I mean? And it was we should have been able to play these people together. I just wasn't ready. And I could have got my feature on. I could have got hey, I sing too.
Well, now you're talking about sometimes it's we evolve.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just get desensitized to things.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is how it is, right?
That's amazing. I feel like what you just said is the perfect explanation. Like, I'm desensitized.
Yeah. You're
I've
like,
been
oh, it ain't so
desensitized.
shocking no more.
Yeah, like no. So you know, it takes growth, and that helps me in my future relationships too. You know, it keeps me on point, and I won't.
Makes you better. I think it does.
Yeah, and then also, you know, that if that didn't happen, and they didn't have enough of that person to say, okay, we need a break, I wouldn't have focused on my career again. You know, back to everything happens for a reason. So her saying, yo, okay, I'm done. You're being too much. That made me, okay, well, now I've got nothing. Let me just get back in my career. You know, and I probably wouldn't be as far on as I was today. So I have no regrets from it. Just
when you look back, what's the peak right now of your, like, the most proud work, or the thing that makes you the happiest?
Wow, there's so many moments, but I'll give you one. My happiest moment, and it's so sad because I spent it alone. Is when I actually signed my record deal to Capitol Records. So the
first or the second?
The first time. I only actually signed one. Okay,
they just redid it.
Basically, I said to my manager years ago, he said, if you could be with any label, which one would it be? I said, I want to be with Capitol. You know.
Is this because your upbringing in music and the iconic building and?
Let's go. You know, like the musicians, the Elvis, like the Frank Sinatra room, the
And for those who don't know, the Capitol Records is not only one of the most iconic buildings in Hollywood. When you walk in and actually go into the studios, it's unbelievable. Like I've been with him.
It's Disneyland for musicians. It really is. It's a magic place. And so I got the call. My record deal was ready, and I live walking distance from Capitol Records. I live just down the street. So I got the call, and they're like, "Okay, it's here. Come sign it." I think my manager was out of town on business at the time, and also my boy Guido was out of town. And they didn't know. We didn't know when it would be ready. So I just got the call.
So they dropped it on you.
They just dropped it on me, and I was like, "Oh, okay. I'll just walk up and sign it now." So I walked up. I got out of my house. I walked to the building, and along the way, I'm like, you know what? I used to walk through Garth D. Aberdeen. That's my hometown where I grew up. I used to walk through there, and now I'm walking down Hollywood Boulevard on the way to Capitol Records to sign my record deal. It was just such a surreal moment in my life, you know. And then when I got in there, the assistant there at Capitol Records brought my deal to me, and I sat down at the table and I signed it. And the assistant took the picture for me. I was like, "Yo, take a picture."
So there weren't even executives there. It was
just me.
You and some paperwork.
So I was like, "Yeah, all right, shit." But I was still so, and they took the picture of me, and I'm like. Signing my paper, and that's just when I was so happy. That's my first ever record deal. That was like, you know, even if I didn't do anything with it, I could still say, "Hey, I signed a record deal."
No,
I could be that old washed up singer who goes, "I had a record deal, I did it."
Oh, you got a few years till you're washed up, but that. Yeah. So now, no, hold on. But before I don't call you washed up, now I want to ask you, what kind of musician are you? Are you the kind of musician that only thinks about today, or are you the kind of musician that thinks 5, 10 years down the road?
I have to think that far.
And were you always that way before?
Yeah.
So that, because you seem like you've had some foresight.
Well, that's the reason I knew I could become a Disney kid, I could become a Nickelodeon kid, I could do it now, and then, you know, try and do the transition into the adult. You know, I knew that, or I could just hold my time a little bit. And then also, you got to remember, I was about to come out at the same time Justin Bieber came out. So it was like, when I hit that wall, I was like, all right, this is Justin Bieber. I can't go around him. Like, I can't go through him.
So were there comparisons?
There was a lot. So what I did was I was like, all right, I can't go through this man because he's Justin Bieber. He's got all his fan base already. He's already established. What I can do is I'll write a song for his album. There you go. Here's a song. I ain't trying to beat him. I'm writing his songs. And I'm going to just write for him and go around him. Bye. Go past to try and reach the Ed Sheerans, the real musicians, and I want to do Coldplay numbers. I want to do Katy Perry numbers, you know. So I really stuck at my writing for a minute and just started writing, kept the artist thing on a back page, and just wrote. And nobody's making an example out of me on my pen.
Which is also another art, which is also, you know, the writing. Now, you said you were always a storyteller. Did you start writing songs very early?
Yeah.
Like Scottish shanties?
No, I've never written a Scottish shanty. I'm waiting for
Is
the
that
fame.
what they're called now? I'm saying it
that's
right.
what
I'm
would
just
be.
making
That's what it
sure.
would be. I'm waiting for the fame to come before I start those.
Really?
I think when they come, they need to be recognized, and people need to be there to hear them. If I do it now, they'll just get lost on YouTube.
Oh my
When I
God,
get
I
famous,
like
they'll
your
come.
style.
You
Can I be
know?
in a Scottish shanty video?
I mean, you kind of have to be. Now
Yeah, I have to be. Like, this is, to me, this
But,
is, oh, yeah.
But no, so growing up singing and writing, I with the Matrix, you know, they're amazing, incredible songwriters, you know. So
So you learned a lot.
I was placed in the room with Heavy Sharks in the beginning, you know. And they were amazing at not just writing a song for me and put me on it. They would say, hey, let's write it together. You know, my Auntie Lauren Christie.
They kind of taught you the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, she was like, you know, here, what lyric would you use? What would you do here? And the more she did that, I would go home and say, oh, what would I do?
And it trained your mind.
Yeah, you know, I really, and that's how I really know whether it's stories, movies, skits, songs. If you really practice, you can become a good writer. Like I in Scotland, I wasn't writing songs. Like I remember a time when I couldn't write a song where I'd be like, you know, now I'll pick up my guitar and just go, you know, and that just comes with doing it every day and practicing, you know.
Sure.
I write literally every day.
Writing is a muscle like anything else. And in the comedy world,
And
it's
especially,
extremely important.
I would think, especially in the comedy world, you know.
Well, I think writing and being able to express yourself is important in every walk of life. Like I was very fortunate after school. You know, I've known this guy since I thought I was going to be an actor. Like, you know, 20 years ago when I got my SAG card, and then I fell into a job as the West Coast public relations manager at the Wall Street Journal.
Wow.
Look, man, I wasn't qualified for the job. I just happened to have some degrees, and I fell into a couple people quit. I get a couple promotions before I knew anything. The thing is, I was with these heavy hitters, and I barely knew how to form a correct sentence. And they taught me less words. Get to a point. Make it, get it. Where are you going? What is this about? What are you saying? And that teaches you. It trains your mind. Like at an early age, where do I go here? Where am I going next? And that's something that it's a muscle that it takes constant work. And it is something that once you learn to trust yourself, you rely on it like that, like second nature. And that's where I think like you're at and you're going with when you say you pick up the guitar and sing and just jam, that's because you work that muscle hard.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, man. No, sometimes I like to, people don't realize how far they've come sometimes until they're given some perspective. Yeah. And a lot of the Brian Moreno show and a lot of my life it's learning from my experience, but also putting some of the great shit you've done in perspective because you deserve a lot of credit. And like I say, your family does. Billy and William and Jamie.
Oh, man. I love you for that. Yes, sir. An amazing man, he told me one time, he said, you know, you're on a backpack with a mountain full of rocks.
Goddamn right.
You know? And all that means is when you get to the top, your back going to be stronger and you can stay there for longer.
Smart man.
You know, and that stuck with
me. As long as your back doesn't go out while you're having sex, yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, you know, like, I don't have that problem. I let them do the work, so I don't have that problem. I'm the lady guy.
I do too now. I gotta let everyone do the work.
Just go. You know, it's for me at this point. It's not for them. So I'm cool. But no, that's always been my outlook, you know, as long as you just keep heading to the top, you know, just, it might get slippy along the way, just wear some good shoes and pull that backpack up.
Yeah, man, slippy slide. Now, you say, there was something else you brought up about Instagram. You say you're not the best with Insta.
Gosh. You know, it's like, here's the thing, Hollywood, and I feel just Los Angeles in the general, and especially Hollywood, was a machine that used to create famous people, you know? You'd come in, go through the machine, come out the other end famous. I feel like that machine now is broken down, okay? It's out of order. And
rusty.
now it's
Them
like,
wheels
it's
are
done.
rusty.
You know, so it's like, I don't care, like, if you fucking 12 or a view 30, you better go on Instagram, you better get yourself a TikTok, and you better start grinding and making yourself relevant because they ain't making superstars anymore. You have to do it yourself.
Well, I have to say, this is something that I think you might run into because you're so real. Like, that's why it's hard to sometimes put effort into social media because you realize how much fugazi and how much
here's
bullshit,
the thing. Check
you
this
know?
out. This will make you laugh. This is how much of a lover I am, okay? So my crazy ex, right? We don't talk in a while, right? I finally get through.
Yo, you sound like the crazy ex, though.
I'm for sure the crazy ex. No, for sure. I'll take that. But
dude.
So here's the thing. I get through and then she goes and she responds. And so I used to like get drunk or stuff, you know, and like be a fool. So that's what she was used to, you know. So now I'm a different person. She hasn't met this me, you know. So I'd hit her up and then she hit me back. She was like, "You're not working enough. You need to make a TikTok. You need to post more on Instagram. Blah, blah, blah. This and that, this and that." I'm like, oh, shit, she hit me back. Let's fucking go. Like, no, I was mad. I'm like, oh,
the
shit.
next day, this motherfucker's on TikTok.
I know, the next day, bro, she's like, post every day. I want to see a change. The next day, I had a TikTok with a fucking post on it, bro. And I'm like, you know, like, that's enough to make me want to do it. But to think of me getting up and setting up a camera because I want people to see me, and I'll never go on TikTok and, you know, I'll never do that. But I'll get on with my guitar.
You look like you have those.
I can. I can do it. But like, I'll get my guitar out and I'll sing a clip. You know, I'll post a little singing song, or I'll post one of my music videos. I'll do that. But with Instagram too, it's such an algorithm and it's such an upkeep. You know, you really have to wake up at 7 a.m., post, then post again at 6 p.m. just to keep your page relevant. If you don't post on your Instagram,
I know,
you get flagged as a non-post page, and you can have 30 to 40K followers, but every time you post, only 2,000 people seeing it.
I've heard this.
It's ridiculous. I just haven't got time. I'm like,
Sure, man. I've heard that specific thing, and the person who told me was like, you're not just trying to like get famous anymore, and you're not just trying, you know, to be funny or whatever. He's like, you're also fighting against a robot.
Bro, Megatron, bro.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because some people are just really dope at it, and they making money, like printing money.
And it's easy for her to say that because she's a fucking warrior against this thing. She's got her armor, she chops his head down, and she goes. You know, this is a prime example of someone who is literally where they're at because of dedication to their work and grinding. You know. And me, here's my thing. I'm not a Kardashian. I'm not in like a big White House with pillars and a waterfall behind me. You know what I mean? I think in my head, I'm like, who wants to fucking see me in my apartment with my macaroni roof? You know what I mean? Like posting my, you know, who wants to watch that shit? And me saying up like, you know, my life's not interesting to me at the moment. So why would I want to be interesting to other people? Is how I look at it, you know? When I'm on stages and I'm running around in dope ass, I'll be posting a lot more.
I'll be very curious to see when your album comes out how you feel. You know, like are you gonna be Johnny Post a lot?
I really will when I've got stuff to post.
Sure.
You know?
Well, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I just I think, and I can't say it enough. You're doing good, man. Like you should be proud of yourself. Like, and you know the machine may not tell you that sometimes, but it don't matter, bro. Like, because you have a good head on your shoulders. You got a good team.
I really do.
You know, like I'll even pull up here. Pull up his Insta right here. Look.
Oh.
This is no. It's like, look right there. You need a little more stomach. What about these tattoos? Hold up. When did you start getting tattoos?
Oh shit. So I love tattoos. So first of all, my mom is tatted up. Blasted. So
like sleeves, everything.
Sleeve, yeah. So she's blasted, and that made me love them from a young age. I always thought they were cool. So for my 14th birthday, I got my first tattoo, on my back. It says Alba.
Did it hurt?
Nah, bro.
Oh, don't.
They
Which one hurt the most?
My stomach, like your back, in places where you think they won't hurt, don't hurt. The places where you think they'll hurt.
They do.
The ribs, the stomach, you know, your underarm, like your wrists, like top of your hand, but your arm up here, you can, you know what I mean? You can.
When did you get the first
Take
face
that.
tattoo?
My first face tattoo, oh gosh.
'Cause that's a
My Instagram's
commitment.
Going, so it's on my Instagram down. That's probably like, gosh, I was maybe 19. I remember doing it. I just don't remember my exact age, 19 or 20. And what I did was I remember, my manager was like my big brother. You know, when he took me under his wing, he was kind of protective of me. And he was like, no face tats, no this, no that, you know, slow with the hand tats. So I was like, all right, he's going to be pissed, you know. So how do I get a tattoo without getting rich pissed? It's on my face. Okay, I'll get a keyhole. It's just like thin line. I won't color it in. It's just going to be a keyhole. Just like a lined out keyhole, right? I got it. You couldn't really notice it. He was like, all right, you can't really notice it. Okay, cool. 2 weeks later, I got it colored in. I'm like, let me just color it in. Just color in the keyhole so you won't notice, you know?
Yeah.
2 weeks later, got colored in. Didn't say anything. Then I was like, oh, okay, let me just get another one.
Once
Let me just go. I even forget what size my arm. I'm probably pointing to like a tomahawk.
Once
right
there's a
now,
crack in
right?
the dam.
See?
No, it's the other
Yeah,
side.
there's
Yes,
the
you can see.
keyhole.
You're on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my keyhole here. So I got that one first, and then colored it in. Then I went back for my tomahawk. I was like, all right, he ain't saying shit. Let me just go and do this. And I'm a nerd, bro. Like a big geek. Like I just look like this. You know, like I love tattoos, so I kind of look.
I don't think tattoos. There's any correlation between being a nerd or not.
When I shave my head and I wear like a snapback and I've got a wife beater on, everyone's like, "Ooh."
I mean, you look
thugging?
more dangerous than what you sound.
That's what I'm saying.
you know?
But it's literally just because I love tattoos. Like I'm probably the softest person, you know me. I watch like my anime at home, play with my
Yeah, man,
animals
you
and
sung
do-
Tragedy at 13, bro.
bro. You know, like I'm not a dangerous guy. So it's just you know, I did come through a lot of that. You know, bro. I walk through my streets and I've been pulled up by straight gangbangers, and they're like, "Hey, where are you from? Where are you from?" And I'm like, "What?" Scotland. And their whole demeanor changes. They go, this literally has true story. I've got a Rottweiler, right, which probably doesn't add to my look. But I was walking I'm walking my Rottweiler, and this car pulls up, and the guy's at the back window. He looks all dangerous. He's like, "Hey, fool, where you from?"
Oh, he thought you were probably Cholo.
Yeah, he's like, where you from? I'm like, what? He's like, where are you from? I'm like, Scotland. Their whole demeanor changed. It was like Black Mirror. It was like Twilight Zone. Bro, I swear to God, it was the most bizarre thing I've seen to this day. They went from straight thugs to like a group of 50-year-old white men. Bro, they went, "Oh, have a nice day." And drove off. He literally said that to me. He went, "Oh, have a nice day," with a smile. I was like, what?
Yeah, they thought you
Bro,
were.
Another time I came out of El Pollo Loco, and this guy walks up to me, and he literally just walked up and he's like, "Hey, where are you from?" And I'm like, "What?" I always say, "What?" He's like, "Oh, it's just because you blasted, fool." He's like, "Yeah, you all yadded up, so I was just, oh, okay, you don't bang, huh?" And I'm like, "Nah." And he's like, "Oh, all right." And I had a push bike with me that was chained to like a fence, right? But you could just lift the chain up over the fence and you would have gotten the bike. I didn't realize this at the time. He actually helped me. He goes, "Hey, you shouldn't chain your bike like that. People can just lift it and take your bike." After walking up with me and saying, "Where are you from?" Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you don't bang?
Well, you exude a nice energy.
Yeah,
That's
I was
good.
like,
I'm glad those stories ended positively.
They change. And when what I've realized about LA, when you're not about that and you don't carry that around with you, that energy, and walk with it, you probably won't see it.
No, hey man, there's been plenty of situations where cooler heads have prevailed for a lot of reasons, and I think you got a cool head, you know?
Well, not only too, like I've realized this thing. Here's the best part about my best story about gangs out here, and not even gangs, just like people about that life. I've been at a point where I've had nothing, like no food, nothing, and I've had big Crips, you know, who are my brothers, you know, like fill my house up with food for months, you know, like put food up in my house, like, and make sure I'm good, you know, like, and they're not even big Crips. They just about that life, and around there, you know, they walk around.
Man, I hope you sing about some of this stuff.
And it's like because you're a nice, they help me out, you know, like they're like, "Hey, you doing good? You're not out here. Here you go. I'm look after you." You know, these are real people who are just about their community. You know?
How would you describe your new album? I'm curious. How do you describe it?
Soulflower Love Child. I'm straight on there singing soul. My album's a soul album. Like I've got I've got songs on there about literally like, let's just have a good time and like,
You think you're becoming a better storyteller as a musician?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because you got some good stories, man. Like you know.
But I don't, I should actually make a rap mixtape.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you got some good stories that I think, like, you could even release under a different persona, homie.
Yeah,
like,
I've got another persona. It was given to me. It's El Cantante,
oh, I like it.
the singer.
Ooh la la.
And when El Cantante comes out, he wears black suit pants,
Yeah,
silk
boy.
shirt, open.
See, I know the
crocodile
game.
loafers, hair slicked back, big belt buckle. That's El Cantante.
Yo, that wasn't the alter ego I was envisioning, but yeah, man, I
El
like
Cantante,
it.
Dímelo.
Yeah.
I created that, by the way.
Yes, you did. Shout out to my man Guido for creating that.
Yeah, see, I like that. I like a little
Yeah,
spice.
No, but like also, I wouldn't actually on some real level be mad at that. Maybe not so far as an alter ego, but down the line, doing a song in Spanish, doing a different type feel song, doing like a rock song. One of the most best things I love is when you hear mainstream artists doing like Latin music, like Drake on some Latin shit. I love that shit. And for me, what I would love to do is to sit down, write a song that I would like to say, and have someone who speaks Spanish come into the studio, translate it, and word for word help me get this shit out, on the mic, and really put out like a dope Latin album. From not an album, like a song, but from a Scottish kid putting out a Spanish song, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, see, that kind of stuff I think is super dope.
Super cool,
I think that's super dope.
And that just comes with freedom of creativity.
And are you gonna have the kind of freedom to do that with your deal? I don't know how it works.
No, that's the thing. I'm gonna deal with family members, which sometimes isn't a good thing, business and family, but my family members, the deal that we're in, they really let me be free with my creativity. They never put a harness on me. They're never like,
that's cool.
Not once. I can call Rich right now and be like, yo, I want to do a rock song.
I want to do El Cantante.
He was like, all right, let's get a fucking sick ass rock song going. Let's go. I'd be like, yo, I want to do a hip hop song. He's like, let's do it. Say less. I want to do an R&B flavor. It's done. And that's another thing with SoundCloud too. There was a time in the music industry where executives and producers would tell you stick to one sound, stick to one genre of music. If you stray too far with different sounds, your fan base will get confused. They won't know who you are. They won't really get to know you. And here's what happened. SoundCloud came out, and there was some people who really just set a new trend where they started getting 1 million views.
Well, weren't they called SoundCloud artists? Didn't that become like a name?
Yeah. So what they did for artists like me is they opened that door. See, everyone said, oh, the music industry is dying. It's dying. It's not real anymore. It's not dying. This shit's fucking dead. The music industry died. It's time to rebuild that shit and not fuck it up this time. Because what happened was you could go to a record label and you could say, I want to put this song out. They could say, no, I'm not putting that out. You say, okay, I'm going to go home on my laptop in my bedroom, put it out myself on SoundCloud. If that song gets 1 million views, you just done that label's job. And you can just set yourself up for another 1 million views with your next song you drop if it's got that heat. You really don't need them anymore. So what they did was they opened the door for artists like me to say, oh, I want to do a rock song today. I want to do this today. I want to do this, and not be shut down by that. Because I think people, too, have grown. As consumers of music, I think they are now open and willing to hear more different things from their artists,
Now, as a musician, I personally think it's crazy to think how much your industry has changed and evolved over the last, 50 years. From the management to the way they release and record and so much of the art can be taken control by the artist. But when it comes down to it, to cross over to that other level, you're still, the gatekeepers have to give you a pass.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's not even a guarantee that you'll get that.
And even if they give you a pass, that, because so many things happen.
Yeah.
Along the way. You know, like you say, people get divorced, the
Bro,
company falls
And
apart.
you never know what's going to make the next person happy. You know, like I literally saw like being on TikTok, I saw like a little 12-year-old trying to cancel Eminem. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? Like, how is this happening? Because she was pissed off at one line he said in a song like 8 fucking years ago. You know, and it's like, you never know, like these kids these days, they're very, very sensitive, you know, so you have to be careful of what you.
Well, I worry about the kids over Corona that were, say, just graduating high school or just like they're developing certain social skills.
Yo,
And then now they spend a whole year just on their phone, no social skills.
There's a new thing now that I saw, and it's called pandemic babies. Babies that were born during the pandemic that are now like 1 year old, and they come outside and they're like, and this kid's like a little old man in the baby's body, and there's like a woman, she's like dancing with her baby, she's like doing like a stupid dance, and this kid's just looking at her like, take me home, take me home, you know, like there's people who were born into this, you know, and I've been like, all right, here's maths. Like, imagine seeing maths for the first half of your life. Like, you can't fathom that.
Do you, so you say you're not, are you dating right now? Because how's Liam, how do you, like,
see,
because you know what I'm saying? Because you may still be in love with somebody.
No, see,
but how are you dating right now?
I have to say that I'm not dating because I have someone in my life
Oh, okay.
who's like trying to date. And if she watches this, god dang. But she's like, and I'm trying to make it clear that, look, we're just friends.
Yeah.
You know? So if I say right now that I'm dating, she'll.
Well, I
take
was
that
just
as a
curious
sign.
how, because when you're recording, I assume you're doing a lot of your recording at home. You're on the
No,
grind.
I have a lot of female friends.
Well, I
that
don't
hang
doubt
out
it.
with, you know?
I don't doubt.
But I'm a gentleman, you know.
Well, you seem that way.
Well,
So that's why I'm wondering.
I've got a sister. I've got a little sister and a mom. My sister's 22 years old, you know. So, like,
Yeah, you do seem like a genuine lover.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
look-
like
I
some
look-
dudes
you
say
know.
that and they're just trying to be Rico Suave.
nah, but like I hang out with a lot of cool girls, but you know, nothing right now that's like dating or that I'm gonna. Bro, I'm still gonna marry my ex. We gonna see.
Because I don't know how some of y'all young folks be dating on apps.
No, see, I never did the app thing, bro.
Yo, you saw Ben Affleck get blown up
No,
last week
bro,
by that girl?
That was
I
crazy.
did one thing, and Guido was here to witness this. I got catfished on one of these apps.
Yeah.
Like a real
Tell me.
catfish.
Tell me, boy.
All right,
Oh
so.
my God. Yo, by the way, the catfish is real.
Yeah, so we won't
Strong
blow her
catfish
name
game.
up.
Oh,
Like, I ain't gonna
shit.
blow her name up. I won't blow the girl up.
Nah.
But here's the thing.
Don't blow her. Don't blow
I ain't
her.
gonna blow her up, but I'll tell you the story. So I talked to this girl online, right? And I normally don't reply to my DMs. You know, when it's some girl, I don't reply because I don't know if she's like, you know, I just don't get involved in my DMs. So one time I was just in the studio and I was drinking at this time, so I was feeling myself. You know, Guido was there. We all smoking up. We in the studio chilling, and this girl, she's like been DMing me for a minute, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm right back. It's good, baby. I had a look on her profile. She had like 200K followers, popping, skinny, tall, blonde thing, like beautiful, beautiful blonde girl, right?
All the angles are just
All
right.
the angles are just right.
Yeah.
Skinny. She's got a perfect little like 6-pack. You know, she's on the beach like. So like I'm like, all right, cool. Talking to her, I'm like, how old are you? She's like 25. I'm 23 at this time. So I'm like, all right, perfect. Where you at? San Diego. I'm like, all right, I'm in Hollywood. Come down and see me. She goes, okay, it's my birthday. I'm gonna pick up a bottle of Henny and drive down there. You better show me a good time. I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, she's eager. She's eager, let's go. So we're chilling and literally maybe, how long does it drive to San Diego? 5-6 hours?
I mean, it's not
4,
fast.
3 hours? 3
It's
hours?
not fast.
There you go. So 3 hours later, I get the call, pulling up. So I grab my boys, we all go outside the front door to look, right, to see her. Here comes a Mercedes, brand new CLK, right, pulling into the lot. And a hand comes out the window with a big bottle of Henny, right? Got her nails done, right? And I'm like, I just see a blonde hair and tinted windows. I'm like, yes, she's here. And she's like, what a princess. Look what she's done. She's here. Tell me why the
That's
girl
a
gets out the car looking like Snooki. Okay? I swear, bro.
Yo.
4'5".
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Like
Snooki came out the
Lodgy,
car,
bro.
dude.
Lodgy. Like, I don't want to disrespect girls, but she was a big girl for 4'5".
Yeah, like
she
you
had
give her
big,
the ball, like
big fake blonde hair.
in the scrum, right? You know rugby.
She had a little scrunched up nose, bro. Right? She looked like she just sucked on a sour sweet, right? She gets out the car. She's like, "Hi." I'm like, "Oh, fuck." I look at my boys and they're like trying not to laugh in front of her, and I'm like, "Fuck it, it's her birthday. I'll show her a good time anyway." So I took it. Right, and then she came in the studio.
You're such a nice
Right,
guy.
so she came in the studio. I pull up.
Because you know how many people, you know how many people turn around
here's the
right
thing.
there. They're like,
Oh
"No,
my
man,
God.
you
Here's the
sold me a bag of false goods."
Bro, I took her in the studio and we're all sitting there, and I pull up her Instagram right next to her, right, and I'm like, "Yo, this isn't the same person. This
Yeah.
is not the same person." Like, and it's a completely different person on the Instagram. Like, she uses some girl and like steals her photos. And it was so bizarre to me because she had like.
Did it like look
200Ks.
like her?
No, a different face. It was a different face.
Yo.
It was a different
that's-
body.
that's
this girl was
hilarious.
like
Crazy.
like 6 foot.
It was
tall.
just a different person.
A different person. So she was taking all of her, and I guess she had bought all of the followers on her Instagram.
But she knows what she's doing.
So, well, here's the thing. I asked her if she did it to me. Like, I asked her if she catfished me.
Like she can't be. What'd she say?
And she said, she told me that she was like quiet. Well, here's how it went. I was like, "Is this you?" Like at the end of
Because you're
"Is this
so
you?"
nice.
I was like, "Is this you?" She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, I feel like I'm being catfished." And she goes,
She said, "What do you mean?" Like she didn't know
yeah,
what
she
you were
was like,
talking
"What do you
about.
mean?"
Oh my
and I'm like, "Well, I feel like I'm being catfished."
This
And
is amazing.
And she goes, "Well, that's I help a girl out for her modeling page, and I run her Instagram. And I just really liked you. And
Oh,
liked
she
you
had
for
a
while."
story.
Yeah, she goes, "I've liked you for a while, and I didn't know how to reach out to you in person because most men look at me and just don't talk to me." And that really got me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, "Oh." I was like, "So you don't have to do this. You're a beautiful girl. Like, I would have hung out with you. Now I think there's a little screw loose, and you're the type of girl to wake up over the bed with a knife. You know, like I can't date you now. Now I wouldn't have dated her in the first place."
But God,
said that to her. I was like, you know,
couldn't have been this
Bro,
nice.
I was like, "Listen, you can't do this because one time you're gonna meet a dude, he's gonna end up either hurting you, or God forbid something else. You know,
You're
because that's real.
call
That's
Billy
real.
and William tomorrow morning and tell them they raised a wise
but
old
that's
man.
real,
you
you
did.
know,
Like this
like-
is a great. You're a good dude. Give him some claps, man. Like no.
But that shit's real. You know, it's funny to happen to us, but we don't want it to go far where it could go bad. You know, so I thought, that, God forbid, this is my little sister doing this to some guy. I would want to treat her how I would want my sister to be treated in this situation.
Man, for you to be able to think it through like that, God bless you,
Bro,
Liam.
honestly,
Seriously, all
that's-
good things to you, my man, because you understand, hopefully you did her good. Hopefully she went home and
we
she's
had a
like,
great time.
Oh no, she had
was
the best
partying
time.
with us.
She
no,
party-
but I'm
showed her
saying,
birthday.
hopefully she quit catfishing, trying to catfish
Well, no, you want to know the
them.
most crazy part? You want to know the best part of this whole thing?
Yeah.
So, I stopped talking to her. Right? She's out my life. The guy who did my videos, not Alex, but Jordan, the guy who does my videos, right? I pull up to his house.
No. SLK.
No.
Whatever.
I
See,
pull up in
okay.
the house and I walk in the front door, and like 2 months later, who's sitting on the couch?
Snooky.
Snooky's on the couch, bro.
Wow.
All chummy with the girls of the house.
Yo, you never told me this, by the
Oh,
way.
I didn't tell you this?
Nah.
I thought I told you
Wow,
this. So she's sitting in
bro.
the house with the two girlfriends who live there, and she's with all my boys in the house. Like, what are you doing here? And I'm like,
Yeah, like she knows exactly.
so obviously I feel like she did it to them, and they just didn't pick up on it. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, obviously, that's what happened.
Well, but that's maybe she tightened up her catfish game. Maybe
I don't
she's
know. I
using a
think-
girl that looks like her now.
I think she maybe was just, I think she maybe went on my Instagram. I only follow like 23 people.
Well, so she's probably
I literally
following.
follow 23 people, and he was one of them, right?
So she's
So
just
she
staying
went on and
tight.
just was, "Oh." Yeah,
Yo.
I did. You know, I will say I feel bad for that. I blocked her after she left.
But in all seriousness, as you do gain any type of popularity, any type of success, because look, I don't know what your ultimate goal is, but to me, fame is simply a byproduct of putting out some real good shit. And as you put out some real good shit, you are going to get some crazy people, so you got to watch yourself. No, seriously. Like I know your wise old man bit worked there.
No, I agree.
But you don't want, you don't want to get caught up
Well,
because someone
also,
crazy.
I think about this a lot for performances. Back to when you asked if I think about the future ahead as an artist.
Yeah.
I really do, because I look at artists like 6ix9ine, like Lil Pump, Slump God. I look at all
Well, you
these kids,
see,
right?
they're living for right now.
And they're on stage, right? Jumping about, running around with bottles of water. I'm like, is 6ix9ine still going to be on stage running around with a bottle of water when he's 40? You know, when he's 40 years old, he's still going to have his face tied, colorful hair, running around the stage, and people are still going to want to go see that, right? And I think, will I be able to still stand on stage with a guitar and a band behind me when I'm 40? Yeah, you know? So that's why I didn't want to just not learn my instruments. I didn't want to just put out the music to keep the core fan base happy. You know, I really learned to make real music because I think real music is timeless, you know? And there's a different level to different artists, I think.
You think this comes from your roots?
100%, yeah. No artist that I grew up watching was under 25. You know, they're all grown-ass men, well into their careers, killing it, making classic hits.
What was the first like pop star that you were like, oh, that's dope?
First pop star?
Yeah, like a pop star. Give me like someone you're like.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
I thought Justin Timberlake was fire. I still think Justin
sure.
Timberlake was fire.
I mean, he was. I mean, he is.
Even more career-wise, too, I think transition from music to movies, back to music was
That's a good
amazing.
example.
Amazing. That's what who wouldn't want to be a movie?
But his ability also to move and to talk.
And to not be taken as the singer in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's like brilliant.
That's good.
He was amazing. Bruno Mars, you know, was
Sure.
another amazing pop star who came out, and I was like, wow, you know.
See, I love Drake. When you say pop, just because it's like that dude was he was the wheelchair in
Drake's the
Degrassi.
real. Drake is the real. He's the.
I know. I don't know. You never watched Degrassi Hive.
No, I didn't watch Degrassi with his acting. His
Yeah,
TV
but he
show.
was in a wheelchair.
I know all of it. I know in his wheelchair but no. Here's the thing. Drake is the real hip hop. You know.
Sure.
He'll go to London and get on some trap shit with some Londoners and kill it. Then he'll come out here and do a song with BB Rexa, kill it. You know, drop his own song, kill it. Like there
are no boundaries.
But here's the thing, you know. I think I give Drake his props and things, but I meet so many talented people who will never get the light shined on them. Just the other day, I was in the studio and a guy came through with his guitar and just sat down and sang with his guitar. He's just a guitar player, and I was like, this kid's a star. And
he's just a studio musician.
Studio musician. That's all he wants to be, right?
Yo,
And here's the thing.
Booker T.
And I'm like, the only difference between these amazing people in the music industry who do these things, who get commended for not stopping, is the other people haven't got a camera on them so the world can see. You know, there's always another person who can do that too. You know, right now there's a 16-year-old sitting in his bedroom on GarageBand practicing. You know, hungry, and who wants it. So
Well, see, that's where I disagree a little bit. I don't think everyone can do it. I think sometimes.
no, not everyone.
Like I
But
say,
I don't think it's as special as it's perceived to be. I think the world's a lot bigger.
No,
than
but
that.
it's as hard as it's perceived to be. That's what I like. It is hard. Like, you're gonna be a success if you're lucky. 15 years of grinding. Do you know what I'm saying? 15. That's hard work.
But that's the thing. I'm not tired from it. You know?
This has nothing to do with how tired you are.
It's not a tiring job.
It's a
you know?
dedication, though.
Yeah.
And you know how many people, and this for a lot of reasons. Like, you know, things happen in their life. Sometimes they get DUIs.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids happen. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Things happen
And
that take them off course.
I think when it comes to like artists like these, like the greats, you know, the Lil Waynes, the Bruno Mars, the Drakes, all the amazing people, you know, all these are fucking warriors who have a light on them. You know, they're amazing people who we're able to shine a light on and watch them do amazing things, you know. I think if Drake was in fucking a different career and not famous, he'd still be working as hard at that career than he is at his.
Yo, I had this question for you because I was very curious. Say there was no music. What does Liam Horne do?
That's
no
the thing.
music.
I've never. I didn't go to school.
I knew you'd give me some answer like that.
I didn't go to school, so I can't. I can't. I'm not really mathematically smart. I can't see myself doing nothing.
No, but say there was no music. Would you paint?
I'd create music. I'd invent it. I'd invent that shit.
Well, because my art is my words, is my ability to express. So I feel. I always say that myself. I would just talk.
If there was no music, I would love to be in acting. I'm a drama.
My next question is, can you act?
Yeah, you know what's really sad? I actually got the lead support role in a movie 2 years ago, but I didn't have my
work visa
at the time. So the part that I got, I ran out of time to do it and ended up missing on that opportunity. But I am signed to CAA and I've got my acting agency.
No, word up.
I'm going to start. You know, I remember the first time I wanted to be in movies.
Yeah.
You know, I was on my couch, right? And this was only like 4 years ago. I'm smoking. I'm watching one of the Avengers movies. I'm like, I want to fly around. I want to fight people like this.
No, I have a horror idea that I think you'd be good for. Yeah, short little horror. Because my film, I don't know if you remember a couple years ago when they did Raiding Area 51. I basically shot a documentary about that.
Day right now.
And my next thing is I want to do a short for horror to show my horror legs. And yeah, I have an idea that. Yeah, that's why I was curious if you could
that's
act.
my favorite. That's horror and scary shit is my favorite.
Well, I think because it invokes an emotion at us. I like things that invoke. That's why comedy to me was my last option.
Yeah.
You know, because it was an ability for me to express thought and get an immediate feedback, and I can't sing. You know, so I didn't have. Trust me, if I thought about maybe I just write music.
Who's the comedian? Dimitri. Martin.
Dimitri Martin.
He sings these songs. You know, he's not a great singer, but he gets it out there.
Well, I don't. They always, because I'm a high energy comic.
Yeah.
So they always put me after musical comedy because nobody wants to follow a musical comedian because how do you go up there and just talk after a guy's been jamming for 10 minutes? And then you're like, hey guys, how about newspapers? Like what?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. So art always finds a way. But art is also a big byproduct of where we're at in society, like where we're at as a people.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I'm curious to see some of the art that's going to come out. You know, God willing, my movie be done in, 30 to 60 days, and you hopefully get the right distribution. And this is a comedy documentary that I think society kind of needs.
Wow.
And I hope it hits, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least you try, like you're in the game, you know?
That's all it is.
Right?
That's
like you're in the game.
Anyway. The fun is not afterwards. The fun is trying and doing.
Well, I also think the fun is when people are like, what did I just see? Gotta watch that motherfucker again.
Yeah.
Like, what just happened?
And is that because that brings you back to when you did it?
Well,
like,
I always thought.
What I did.
See, for you knew you were going to do something in music from an early age. An early age for me, it was film and television. Like I wanted to direct films. Like the first time I was ever like emotionally overtaken was watching like someone winning the Oscars. It's a story I don't need to get, but that is what I thought. And then I was young and I had a little bit of success, and then I got a big head and I made mistakes in relationships, but I didn't have no safety net. I had no one to pick me up, but I had a college degree. It's a couple of them. So I took
yes, sir.
Yeah, so I took the job, and then I quit everything for a while. And then I became the DJ at a strip club.
No, you work so you can have fun the second.
Well, no, I worked, and then one day I went into the office and my computer was gone at the Wall Street Journal, and there was a note on the desk that says, come see me. And they offered me a horrible severance package or a job in New York. And they're like, you got, the weekend to decide. So I took the severance, and I never really, they said my dynamic was no longer needed in the office.
What does that even mean?
Man, the boss didn't like me. The boss didn't like me.
This is a complicated way of saying.
Yeah, you get the fuck out.
Yeah, fuck you.
So, yeah, I mean, and that brought me into, like, this guy knew me when I was, talk about crazy. I was in love with this girl named Kat. You remember that? Like, crying.
What's up, Kat?
Yeah, right? I still wonder what happened, but But it's like sometimes we have to go through that to find our art, to find our strength.
Yeah.
Like you say, like the dark comes at a great cost, but those who can rise up, man, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, you're stronger and you're better and you're doper. You know, Liam, like we've been here, this is 90 minutes. You feel like you said everything you want to say?
Yeah, and I don't feel like it's been 90 minutes.
I know,
That's
like,
amazing.
no,
Time flies when you're having fun.
I try to do this not only because I'm interested in folks like y'all, like yourself. I do this because I think guys like you deserve like a real chance to say what's on your mind and to explain yourself in a medium that is very understanding. And that's where I come from. And I think, like I say, you call your parents or text them and just tell them you love them, because you are, man, you have, the stars have aligned in so many ways, and I wish you all the success, man. Like, do you feel it sometimes?
I really do. I really do.
That's beautiful.
I know I'm gonna be someone. I just don't know who yet. You know?
Yo, amen. I say that all the time. I don't know who.
Yeah, but you know, I do want to say just what you said. Like, thank you so much. And it's funny. I was gonna say that to you. You know, what you do for us artists is really dope. You know, so just having me on here and being able to speak my mind is beautiful. You know, thank you from us too. You know?
No, man. I can't wait till your music comes out. Like, seriously, I can't
That's
wait.
gonna be a movie.
Yeah, man. I'll come on the road, open for do
please.
10, 15 minutes up top.
No,
Like,
especially
who is this dude
you
telling
with
you?
this man, he already knows we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a
Oh,
blast.
man. I got my come up. You weren't here. Maybe you were at the House of Blues. I used to be the MC of the House of Blues till the final day
Wait, no.
on Sunset. I was.
We went.
went?
We did go to the Comedy Store on Melrose.
Well, you went to you saw me at the
Yeah, no,
improv.
Improv, sorry.
That's what I was
Not the
gonna say.
Comedy
I
Store,
actually,
improv.
I saw
Yeah,
you
yeah,
at
hold
improv.
on. But do you want to do a song?
Yeah, let's
on the
do one.
outs?
Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
one.
man. Yeah,
do one
totally.
here.
Like this
My
is
guitar.
yeah. This is your stage, man. And I had to, like, from the bottom of my heart, like, you and your mind are so appreciated, bro. Like, your talent shows through. I don't have to say that, but your brain, like, what the filters that life goes through, and it's a beautiful thing, man. And you deserve the best.
Good mentors, bro. Good mentors.
Yeah, Rich Skillz, Edwin Guido to the right.
You know,
Roberto Alhumada, always directing behind the ones and twos. Amon Tequila, Alpha Dog Poop Bags. You got a dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the dopest biodegradable poop bags. These are my sponsors, man. Like, these people, Vapor Brothers, you know,
sir.
yeah,
Amazing,
man.
amazing.
Yeah, so you're going to get some poop bags? Oh, yeah, Traeger grills. I got some stuff for you. I got 2 grill smokers sitting outside. Oh, yeah, I got smoked meat if you want.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah, let's do
Bro.
it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Liam
right.
Horne, everybody.
Go. Now, shawty, get down, good Lord. Baby got 'em open all over town. Strict the bitch, you don't play around. Cover much ground, get paid by the pound. Getting paid is her forte, each and every day. True play away, I can't get her out of my mind. I think about the girl all the time. She's got class and style, and knowledge by the pound. My baby never act wild, very low key on a profile. And catching feelings is a no. Let me show you how it goes. Curve the word, spin the verb. Love as it comes, so freak what you heard. Rolling with the fatness, you never quite know what the half is. You got to pay to play, just for shawty bang bang and look your way now. I like the way you work it, no diggity, about to bag it up now. I like the way you work it, no diggity, I'm about to bag it up now. Ayo, 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 damn that girl is good. Ayo, 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 play on, play on, play on. Ayo, 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 damn that girl, she's good. Ayo, 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 play on, play on, play on.
Ooh. Goodness, like,
That was fire.
oh my,
Diggity.
So good.
I
dude.
can't say thank you enough, man. Like,
Hey, thank you.
oh,
brother.
yo, I'm gonna
Yo,
have you
by
back.
the way, can you imagine him on stage ripping around? He's an animal.
Yeah, no, we
He's
make
an
it fun,
animal.
you know.
Yo, like, I can't wait to see you break it down. Anything I can ever do for you, you know you have a brother
that
in
means
arms.
So much. That means so
Seriously,
much.
like, absolutely. Like, I am down for this
brother.
man and this man, and thank you all. This has been another wonderful episode of the Brian Moreno Show.
Yes, sir.
Peace.